Welcome back to Football Uncensored. Today we are ranking all the performances of every team in the group stage of the World Cup. Many teams finished on 3 points and still got knocked out. A two-time world champion crashed out without winning a single game, and a tiny island nation nobody had heard of before this summer went unbeaten in a group with Spain and Uruguay. This was the most chaotic group stage the World Cup has ever seen, and today we rank all 48 teams from the most disgraceful to the most flawless. Stay to the end for the team I think wins the whole thing. 5 tiers, D for disgraceful, up to the GOAT for the truly special. Let's start at the bottom. D tier for the disgraceful performances. Uruguay. This is the headline. A two-time world champion, a nation that walks into every tournament expecting respect, held by Saudi Arabia, held by debutants Cape Verde, and then beaten by Spain. 2 points, not a single win, and their earliest World Cup exit since 2002. For a country with this history, that is humiliating, and it is the most disgraceful campaign of the entire group stage. Qatar. A 6-0 hammering by Canada set the tone, and it never got better. Winless, hopeless, and a long way from the side that hosted this tournament 4 years ago. Iraq. Statistically, the worst team at the entire World Cup. They lost all three, conceded for fun, and finished on minus 11. The one piece of mercy is that they were drawn into a brutal group with France, Norway, and Senegal, so some of this was always coming. Tunisia, Jordan, Uzbekistan, Panama, Haiti, Saudi Arabia. No wins between them, and almost nothing to show for the trip. Haiti and Panama can say at least they were swimming above their level. The rest simply did not turn up when it mattered. C tier. These are the bad performances. And to start off, we have Portugal. Here is the take that lights up the comments. Portugal got through. So why are they in the bad tier? Because you only have to watch them. They drew with DR Congo. They were held to a goalless draw by Colombia on the final day, and they finished second in a group they were expected to bully. The thrashing of Uzbekistan flatters the bigger picture. True, yes. Convincing, not even close. Turkey and Iran. Both picked up points, both played some decent football, and both still went home thanks to the ruthless new third place math. With squads this experienced, finishing outside the top 3 of your group is under-delivering, however cruel that format feels. South Korea, Scotland, and Czechia. All three had their moments, and all three fell just short. Son Heung-min faces a long wait for another shot at this, and Czechia never recovered from a flat start, drawing South Africa but losing the games that actually mattered. New Zealand and Curaçao. Curaçao actually gave us some of the stories of the round, grabbing their first ever World Cup point with a goalkeeping masterclass against Ecuador before Germany brought them back to earth. A bad result on paper, a proud moment in reality. Now for the B tier. This is what we expected from these teams. Germany. Plenty of goals, a group won, job done. This was the flow for a side this talented. Not the ceiling, solid but not spectacular. Croatia. The eternal tournament team did their usual stubborn work, losing to England but seeing off Panama and Ghana to go through. Exactly where you would have penciled them in. Norway. Haaland is finally at a World Cup and Norway are through. They rested half their side once qualification was secure and lost to France because of it. But the job was already done. Ivory Coast. A respectable campaign out of a group with Germany in it. True and dangerous, but within the range you expected from them. Japan and Belgium. Japan keep arriving at this tournament sharper than the last time and earned their runners-up spot. Belgium won their group even if the football was more functional than thrilling. Both did what they came to do. Egypt. Salah dragged them to a famous long-awaited World Cup win and they backed it up to advance. A professional campaign from a side that knew exactly what it needed. Senegal lost a tight one to France in a 3-2 thriller to Norway, then blew the doors of Iraq 5-0 to climb into a positive goal difference and grab a knockout spot. 2 narrow defeats and 1 empathetic win. They scored in every game and they are through to face Belgium. That is a solid campaign, not a failed one. South Africa. One of the quietest success stories of the round, Bafana Bafana finished above South Korea and Czechia to take second in Mexico's group and book a return to the knockout stages, sealed with a clean win over South Korea on the final day. Disciplined, organized, exactly what they needed. Algeria. Out of Messi's group, Algeria held Austria in a wild 3-all draw and saw off Jordan to claim a third place ticket. They scored in tough company and they are through to face Switzerland, a scrappy yet a useful campaign. Australia, Paraguay, Sweden, Ecuador, Austria, Algeria, Ghana, Congo, Bosnia, Canada. Every one of them did the assignment and reached the last 32. Canada will be annoyed at finishing behind Switzerland in their own backyard, but they are all still standing, and that is the only stat that survives now. Now for the A tier, the great performances. Brazil topped the group and conceded only a single goal across the entire group stage. Genuinely impressive at the back. The only reason they are not higher is that Morocco refused to let them stroll to first place. Spain battered Saudi Arabia, beat Uruguay, and the only blemish was a goalless draw with the stubborn Cabo Verde. Controlled, convincing, and never in any real trouble. Netherlands. A clean, comfortable group win with no scares and a healthy goal difference. The kind of campaign that wins nothing yet in the highlight reels and everything in the bracket. England. Bellingham firing, group 1, no meltdown, no tournament wrecking headline. For England, that combination is close to a perfect group stage. USA. The co-hosts answered the big question on home soil. Group winners confirmed after just 2 games. Balogun scoring a brace and the United States putting 4 past an opponent in a single World Cup game for the first time in their history. The only blemish came after the job was done. A dead rubber loss to Turkey once top spot was already locked. Under that much pressure in their own tournament, winning the group outright is a genuinely strong return. Switzerland. The most underrated campaign of the round, they finished above co-host Canada to win the group outright and barely anyone noticed. Exactly how the Swiss like it. Morocco. The best of the chasing pack. 7 points and they took Brazil to the wire for top spot. The 2022 run was no fluke and everybody left in this bracket should be nervous about drawing them. Colombia. They finished above Portugal to win the group and shut Portugal out completely on the final day. A genuinely good, organized campaign that deserved far more noise than it is getting. Now for the GOAT tier. These are the best performances. The greatest campaigns of the group stage. 3 were flawless. 1 was simply unthinkable. Cape Verde. Before the Giants, the story this tournament will remember. A nation of 500,000 people ranked nowhere near these names, playing in their first ever World Cup, and they went through the group stage unbeaten. They held Spain, they drew with Uruguay, and then watched the 2-time champions go home in their place. They will probably not get past Argentina in the next round, and it does not matter even slightly. Measured against who they are and what the world thought was possible, this is one of the greatest group stage performances in the history of the competition. This is what GOAT tier is for. Not just the best squads, the best achievements, and nobody achieved more relative to their size than these islands. Mexico, a perfect 9 points as a host nation. Under that pressure in front of that noise. Most hosts wobble somewhere. Mexico never blinked. Flawless. Argentina. The holders doing exactly what holders do. 3 wins from 3 and Messi has already scored 6 in 3 games. More than anyone in World Cup history. Every time the camera found him, something happened. A champion peaking at the perfect moment. France. And right at the summit, the best group stage of the entire tournament. 3 wins from 3 plus 8 goal difference, capped by a Dembele first half hat-trick to dismantle Norway and Mbappe becoming France's all-time leading scorer along the way. Nobody laid a glove on them. If you are betting on one team of these 3 games to lift the trophy, it starts and ends right here. So there it is, top to bottom. France flawless and frightening at the very summit. Argentina and Mexico right alongside them. And sitting up there with the giants refusing to be moved, Cape Verde, a nation of 500,000 people that just did the unthinkable. Down at the very bottom, Uruguay, a 2-time champion, opening this video for all the wrong reasons. This is the spread. The favorites look terrifying, the minnows are dreaming, and some of the biggest names in football are already watching from their sofas. Tell me in the comments where I got it wrong, because I already know half of you are furious about Portugal and the other half want to fight me over Cape Verde in GOAT tier. And if you want my full round of 32 predictions, including whether these islands can possibly shock Messi and Argentina, that breakdown is dropping next. Subscribe to Football Uncensored so you do not miss it.